is our notes for the final part in our packet. And this ends with multiple transformations, and I'm going to erase what was here from yesterday. All right, so this one with multiple transformations, we're going to have like combinations of the 3 types of transformations that we've learned. And we've learned about translations, reflections, and rotations. Okay, rotations was the most recent one. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you go watch that one. It is pretty long, but it was an entire lesson, so it's going to be long. Okay, so number 1 says we have this original square which has these vertices. Vertices are just the corners of your shape, and they told us we're going to have 2 transformations. We're going to reflect over the y-axis, then we're going to translate it using this rule. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and draw it out first. So we're going to plot our points. So -6, comma 1 is point T. -1, 0 is point U. -2, -5 is point V. And then W is -7, -4. Okay. So this is our square, and it looks like a square, so I know I graphed it correctly now. Okay, that's our original. So the first thing we're going to do is reflect it over the y-axis. The y-axis is here. That's our vertical axis here. So I'm just going to reflect it over there. So all I'm going to do to reflect it over that y-axis is count how many points away or how many units away from that green line each point is. So for the U point, it's just exactly 1 unit away. I'm going to make that a little bigger. It's exactly 1 unit away. So I'm going to have 1 unit on the other side as well. That's going to be my new location for point U. So it is U prime is right there. Okay, and I can go ahead and also, if you wanted to, we can go ahead and write what that is, and I am. That's the point 1, comma 0. All right, for T, I'm going to do the same thing and use a different color, different shade of pink, because why not? All right, for T, I'm going to go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yes, I do expect you to do the hops on your page as well. So that was 6 hops. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my new point. And that is T prime. That is at the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 1. And if you notice, the only thing that's changing is the x value is becoming its opposite. So you can use that to help you, or you can just keep doing your hops. I'm going to keep doing my hops. Okay, moving on. For my V, it is exactly 2 units away from my green line. It should be on the other side as well. And that is the point 2, -5. Which doesn't match. Yes, it does. All right, and finally we've got W. I'm going to use a purple here. W is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units away as well. All right, so my W will be 7, comma -4. And does it match? Yes, it does. Perfect. Oops, I wasn't supposed to write that first. Oops. I'm just going to scoot these up a little bit because I didn't realize I was doing that. I'm going to scoot them up a little bit so I know that was the first transformation was there. And these were V prime and W prime. So I'm going to have those be here first so I can see, well, that was the first transformation. The second transformation, I'm now going to move, and I'm going to call these, oops. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to move these back down because it's okay. All right, so, yeah. That's fine. All right, so my actual one, I'm going to call it T prime prime, U prime prime, V prime prime, and W prime prime. And the only reason I'm doing it is because 1, I messed up, but 2, it could help you to understand that we've done 2 transformations instead of just 1. So we're going to do it one more time, where this time we're going to go and do exactly what the translation tells us to do. And our translation says that we're going to go down 5 and up, I'm sorry, left 5 and up 7. Okay, that's what this is telling us to do. Left 5, because that's with our x value. Left 5 and up 7 units. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to actually just erase my next one. You can cross it out, whatever you need to do. I just don't want you guys to be super confused over this because we're not doing this anymore. So I'm going to take that off. Alright, now I'm going to move over. Each point is going to go left 5 and up 7. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, this is my final resting point for u. I'm going to call that u prime prime, and that is at the point -4, 7. Alright, so u is at -4, 7. That's my final answer for this one. Alright, moving on to do the same exact things with my others. So 5 left, up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make your point. Tell me what it is. So t prime prime is going to be a 1, 8. That's my final point for that. 1, 8. Done there. Moving on to our v. I'm gonna go left 5. Oopsie. Left 5. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is my v prime prime, which is at the point -2, -2, 3. Sorry, -2, -3, oh my goodness, I can't even read. -3, 2. And let me fix u prime prime. Okay, never mind. That's right. Okay, tired. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna make that my pink. Alright, so you can still see whatever. Alright, those are my answers. And my last one is my w, 5 over to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and I've got my final point for a w prime prime, which is 2, 3. Okay, and final question, is it an actual square? Oops. Is it an actual square? It looks like it will be, so I think we did really well here. Oh yeah, that is a square to me. Looks good. These are, yeah, it's gonna be easier if you remember your rules here, because then you don't have to draw this all the time. But we'll get to the rules part when we get down to 7 and 8. But until we are ready for that, we will continue doing the shapes. Alright, so here for number 2, moving on there, let's go ahead and graph this. We have -7, 4 for L. -7, 4 is L. -3, 0 is M. And -8, 1 is N. Alright, we got this triangle to start off with. Alright, it's gonna first translate. We're gonna do a translation first. We're gonna go right 5 and down 6. And write this on your paper too. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And I'm not gonna put all the, well, yes I am, never mind. Alright, right 5, down 6 for all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down 6 for every single one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my new point L prime. Alright, do it one more time. For the M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I got one more for my N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, N prime. All right, that's the second triangle. All right, and finally they say to reflect on the line y equals negative x. Reflect on the line y equals negative x. So you can go back to what you know about that line, and it'll actually, you can draw that out. I'm going to draw mine out here with a different color and erase my original, because I don't really need that anymore. Erase all these extra lines on there. It looks crazy. Okay. Okay. Alright. So these are my points so far. I'm going to go in, and my line at y equals negative x is actually here. I'm kind of be doing as perfect as I can, so I can go ahead and do it across from there. Sorry. And no, that was not slow motion. I just drew it in slow motion. I feel like I'm crazy. Okay. So with this, now what I need to do is I need to reflect it over that line. So if you want to, you can go back to your reflection notes so you can see what's going to happen here. And I want to go there so I make sure I don't tell you the wrong thing again, as I did on the other day. All right, when I'm reflecting there, all I'm going to do is we're going to swap the x and y and make them their opposites. Okay, swap x and y, make them their opposites, negative y comma negative x. So let's do that. Okay. All right, so that is our rule here. We do negative y comma negative x. Okay. So this point, for point M, I'm going to use a different color. For point M, it was 2, negative 6. So do the opposite is going to become 6 comma negative 2. All right, so 6, negative 2 is going to be here. And that does look like it went straight across the line, right? So that's perfect. All right, and that is my M prime prime. That's my final resting place for these. I'm just going to add that little prime on there. And there we go. We'll put those points on there later. All right, same thing for my L. I'm going to say the original point was negative 2, negative 2. So the new point is going to be negative 2, comma 2. It's going to be 2, 2. Sorry, that's done. It's going to be 2, 2. Opposite, opposite. All right, so 2, 2 is L prime prime. And again, it went straight across. It looks great. So I know that I did that part right. Okay, and finally is the N. The N was at negative 3, negative 5. So this one is going to be 5, 3. All right, so 5, 3 is here with N prime, prime. Okay, and when I connect all of my dots, I should be good and have that same shaped triangle, which it looks good because my N, my N looks like it's the same distance away. So again, that kind of helps you to kind of looking at that line just to make sure it actually went across from it, so it's in the correct position. And now you just gotta name all the points. So my points for L is 2, 2. For N, we had the 5, 3, and for M, we had 6, negative 2. And we're done with that. Okay? Moving on, they tell us to reflect it across the x-axis and then do those. So what I'm going to do here, instead of doing both of these, I don't want to graph both of them because I feel like that gets really, it's like a lot to look at, okay? So I'm just going to do my translation, which that's what we learned at the end of the translation day, is you can just do this. You don't really have to move the hop. You don't have to do the hops if you don't need to. So I'm not going to do that here, but I am going to reflect it. All right, so my reflection points are going to be here, and I'll have my new points, A prime prime. No, I'm not. I'll just show you on here. Okay, so my new points, A prime, and all these will be the prime primes. Okay, so A prime is now going to be, I'm going to start with 1, and I'm going to subtract 8. That's going to be negative 7. And then I'm going to have my 0. I'm going to subtract 3, negative 3. So my new point is going to be negative 7, comma negative 3, negative 7, negative 3. That is A prime. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for all my other x's and all my other y's. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to do all my x's and going to minus 8. So for b prime, it's going to be 7 minus 8 is negative 1, and 2 minus 3 is negative 1 as well. So I'm going to have negative 1 is b prime. And I'm going to move on to c prime down here. C prime is going to be 8 minus 8 is 0, and negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. So 0, negative 4 is my C prime. And finally, my D prime is going to be 2 minus 8 is negative 6, and 3 minus 3 is 0. So negative 6, 0 is my D prime. They said it's a rectangle. I don't think I did mine right. Of course I didn't. Okay, so that one was negative 7, negative 3, negative 6, 0. I'm not sure what this is. Negative 6, 0. Okay, so even though this is clearly not a rectangle, these are the coordinates that apparently it's supposed to be, so we're just going to keep moving on. Alright, so then all we would do is reflect over the x-axis, and the x-axis is here. If this is our x-axis, this pink line, again, just like we did on one of those above problems, where you just need to reflect them and see how far away from the pink line the points are, and we're just going to do those little dots. So the D is going to stay exactly where it is, and that's going to be our final spot for that, which is negative 6, 0. A is exactly 1, 2, 3 units away. It should be up here as well, 1, 2, 3. And that is point, that is going to be A prime prime, and that is point negative 7, 3. B is 1 unit away. It'll be 1 up here as well, which is negative 1, 1. Oops, I shouldn't have wrote it there. That is going to be my B prime prime, negative 1, 1. And finally, C prime is exactly 4 units away. It'll be 4 units up here as well. Okay, and that'll be my C prime prime, which is 0, 4. All right, connecting all of my dots together. Again, it looks all kinds of weird, but it does. I did do everything that it asked me to do. It just looks super weird because that is not a rectangle, and they said it was a rectangle, and I didn't like it. Okay, but here are your correct answers here. All right, the next one is the triangle DEF. It has these vertices. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to graph this one because I didn't like that last one, so I'm going to make sure I graph it with you as well. Negative 6, negative 1 is point D. Negative 3, negative 2 is point E. And negative 5, negative 7 is point F. So I've got D to E to F. All right, that's our original. Our new one, I'm going to make it in all pink, or the next one, this one's going to be in all pink, and our final one will be in all green. Okay, so reflected across, I'm assuming this means the x-axis. The x-axis is here, obviously. This one, I'm reflected across that, so I've got D here, E will be 2 away, and F will be however many away that was, 7 away, so it'll be up here. Okay, that's going to be F, E, and D are right there. And then finally it says rotated 180 degrees. It'll go from this quadrant to this one over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move those points. For what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go from the original points that I had. This last one is going to go from the original, or actually go from the pink colors, X and Y, to the green by doing a negative X and a negative Y. Okay, so let me go ahead and write out what these points are here. For D, it was negative 6, positive 1. For F, it was negative 5, positive 7. And for E, it was negative 3, positive 2. So now I can just swap them out. So I know, I'm going to erase this arrow. I know that I'm just going to swap them all out. So my F point will now be at 5, negative 7. E will be at 3, negative 2. and D will be a 6, -1, and I just need to graph it. So 6, -1 is D prime prime. I'm going to call him prime prime again. E will be at 3, -2. And F will be a 5, -7. So that is F prime prime. And I've got my triangles again. And they look pretty good. Okay, so I am good there. That one was, I like that one a lot better. Alright, that was number 4. Number 5. Rectangle. This has all these vertices. I'm going to graph it again. So 1, 5. 7, 5. 7, 2. And 1, 2 is Z. Okay, so I've got my original. So the original is black. The new one will be in pink. And the final will be in green. Okay, my pink one, I'm going to rotate it 270 counterclockwise. 270 counterclockwise is the same thing as 90 degrees clockwise, which is y -x, I believe. Go back and review. Yep, that is y -x. Perfect. So yeah, I remembered it. Okay, so that's going to be my, that's going to be what my rule is. So I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. So I'm going to switch out the y and the x and make the x's opposite. So my W prime, and I'm going to have my second ones like I did again. Okay. Okay. So my pinks are going to be the opposite of what they originally were. So I'm going to have 5, -1. And then for the X, I'm going to have, oops, sorry. For X, I'm going to have 5, -7. For the Y, I'm going to have, oops. For the Y, I'm going to have 2, -7. And for Z, I'm going to have 2, -1. Okay, I'm going to graph those. 5, -1 is W prime. Oopsie, I did it the wrong way again. Okay, the next one's going to be 5, -7, and that is Z or X prime. And I'm just call it prime prime like I wrote. The next one's going to be 2, -7 is Y prime. And I'm not going to call it that because it's not right. I just wrote these wrong. Okay, so make these a little smaller. Sorry. X prime. This is prime prime up there. Y prime and Z prime. Okay. Alright, so these are the prime primes will be my final answers. It's just weird. I just think it should have had both. Okay. And my last one was the Z, and it was just here. Okay. Alright, so that's my pink. And now I need to just get to my green. Green says I need to translate them over. 7 to the left and 3 up. So 7 to the left, 3 up for all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. My Z lays here. And that's going to be my Z prime prime. That is a -5, 2. So Z prime prime is -5, 2. And I am done with that one. The next one, keep going. 7 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 up. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be my W prime prime. And that is a -2, 2. Done with that. Next, we've got the X, I'm sorry, the Y. 7 over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is a -5, -4. And my final one for the X, same type of deal, but it'll be here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that is my x prime prime and my y prime prime. And now I have my final, which was at -2, -4. Okay. Alright, so just to make it a little bigger for you, there is the actual graph of that. And again, it looks so crazy with all the hops and jumps and stuff, but that is where you get that. Alright, and then finally, thank goodness we have a rotation and reflection, not a translation. This one gets crazy. So I'm going to have my original. Actually, no, I'm not. If I rotate it 180, I'm just swapping them. I'm sorry, I'm just making them their opposites. So my first one's going to be 7, -7, and then 2, -7, 3, -4, and then 5, -3. And then it says I'm going to reflect it over the line y is -1. Well, y is -1 is this line. So I'm going to plot these original points. I'm going to plot these original points. So I have them. So I had 7, -7 was here. That is m prime. 2, -7 is n prime. Oops, n prime. And 3, -4 is o prime. And p is 5, -3 prime. So it's a p there. Okay, that's our one that I just wrote out there. And then the last one is going to be reflected over that pink line. O is 1, 2, 3 from that line. It'll be up here as well. It's here. It's O prime prime. It's going to equal 3, 2. Alright, and then my P prime prime is just 2 away, so it'll be 2 away up here. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1. Okay, P prime prime. Right. N is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. The 6 away as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be here. That's n prime prime, which is 2, 5. 2, 5. Okay, that's n. Let's see. N prime prime, and then the n prime prime was a few over there. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. That's going to be my m prime prime, which is 7, 5. And you are done there. Okay, so again with these, it's just you have to keep going. Just don't give up. I would definitely say if I were you and I had access to like more graph paper, I totally would have more graph paper because this is like so small. But it's a lot to look at. I can definitely understand that. Okay, and then finally we only have 2 more, the ones we don't have to graph. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna reflect it over the x-axis and then rotate it 180. If I reflect it over the x-axis, reflecting over the x-axis is going to, and you can put this on your paper too, it's going to keep x the same, and it's going to change y to its opposite. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that first. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to have keep the x the same. So -6 to 1 is going to be for D. E is going to be -3 to 2. And F is going to be -5 to 7. Alright, then it tells me to rotate it 180. Rotating it 180 is going to just give me the opposite of all of them, right? So opposite of everything, right? opposite of x and y. All right, so let's do that. So we'll have 6, -1, 3, -2, and 5, -7. That's our final solution. Oops, dang. Okay, that's my final solution there. All right, quick and easy. Love it. All right, the next one for number 8, and I'm putting this one in black so you know where it's going to be. Okay, so this one, what I'm going to do, it says we have it rotated by 90 degrees and translated. So with this one, what I would do is I'm going to erase, or no, I'm not. I'm just going to put it below it. Rotating it 90 degrees is going to have it y comma -x. So swap the x and y and make x is opposite. I'll do that first. So I'll have a rectangle, which not the funnest thing to do. All right, so I'm gonna have my w, then my x, my y, and my z. You can always do these all different ways, but I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, I'm gonna rewrite it so we know what happened. The original, the first transformation, and the second one. Okay, so you don't get lost, because I know I can easily get lost with all of this. Okay, so I don't want you to feel that way. All right, so the original points, I'm gonna do those in here. My original points were 1, 5, 7, 5, 7, 2, and 1, 2. Sorry about that. 1, 2. All right, and they said that our first one was the y comma -x. So let's swap them. So we'll have 5, -1, 5, -7, 2, -7, and 2, -1. And then it said we're going to translate it 7 to the left and 3 up. So it was x minus 7 and 3 up. All right, that's our final thing. So we're going to subtract 7 from all the x's. So that'll be -2, -2 here as well, -5 here, and -5 there. And then we're going to add 3 to all the y's. So -1 plus 3 is 2. -7 plus 3 is -4. And -7 again plus 3 is -4. And again, -1 plus 3 is 2. So I have all of my final answers are going to go there. So w prime prime is going to be -2, 2. X prime prime is going to be -2, -4. Y prime is -5, -4. And Z prime is -5, 2. And I am done. I think this is the best, oops, this is definitely the best way to do it with multiple transformations. This way, I love that way. This made it feel like it was so much easier. I don't know if you felt that way when you just did it too, but I like this a lot better with making a table because I feel like it organized my thoughts. So if I were you, I would definitely lean towards doing that. But yeah, again, I'm not going to tell you which way to do it because it's up to you, but these are definitely different ways that you can do it. This is what I would do. This is amazing. Tables, love them. Okay, so that is it for our multiple transformations. After this, you should be working on practicing. So we have some Delta Math and a quizzes to practice with. Please make sure you are referring back to your notes at all times when you are doing your practice so you know why we're doing things a certain way. All right? That should be it for this. If you have any other questions, please ask me. Yeah, and that'll be it. All right, thank you.